Did you know that over 13,000 people were deported from Canada in just 1 year, and that number is expected to rise in October 2025 with brand new rules that could affect thousands more? What if I told you that even something as small as a missed paperwork deadline or a minor legal mistake could suddenly put your future in Canada at risk? For many immigrants, students, and workers, Canada is seen as the land of opportunity, safety, and stability. But these upcoming changes might flip that dream upside down. Some of the new rules are so strict and unexpected that they might shock you. Could someone you know, or even you, be on the list of people who might be forced to leave? In this video, we'll uncover the 10 new deportation rules you need to know before October 2025. Stay with me because some of them will truly surprise you. Number 10. Failure to attend hearings or check-ins. One of the most overlooked, but also one of the most dangerous mistakes that can lead to immediate deportation is simply not showing up when the Canadian immigration authorities require it. This includes missing a scheduled immigration hearing, ignoring a court date, or failing to attend mandatory check-ins with the Canada Border Services Agency, CBSA. You might think, what's the harm in missing just one appointment? But under the new October 2025 rules, skipping even a single hearing could automatically trigger a removal order. And here's the shocking part. These rules are designed to be much stricter and faster than before. That means less leniency, fewer chances for appeal, and in some cases, immediate enforcement action. Imagine a student or worker who has lived in Canada for years. They've built a life here, maybe even started a family. But one missed appointment, whether due to a scheduling error, confusion about the letter they received, or simply not taking it seriously, could suddenly result in losing everything. It sounds harsh, but this is exactly how the system is tightening up. The good news? This is also one of the easiest problems to avoid. Always double-check your mail and email for any official notices. If you're asked to attend a hearing or check-in, treat it as a top priority. If you truly can't make it, contact the authorities in advance and provide a valid reason, backed with proof. Documentation can be the difference between staying legally or being deported. So now I want to ask you, did this rule surprise you? Could you imagine how many people unknowingly put themselves at risk just by missing a simple appointment? Comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share it with anyone who's currently navigating the Canadian immigration system. They might thank you later for saving their future. Number 9. National security concerns. When it comes to national security, Canada takes absolutely no chances. Under the new October 2025 rules, anyone suspected of being connected to terrorist organizations, extremist groups, organized crime networks, or espionage activities could face immediate deportation, even if there is no formal conviction yet. Immigration authorities are being given wider powers to act on credible intelligence and suspicious activities, not just proven crimes. This means the threshold for removal is becoming much lower. For example, if a person is found to have strong associations with individuals under international investigation, even if they personally haven't committed a crime, they may still be flagged as a security risk. And the system is getting more advanced. Canada is now implementing AI-driven monitoring systems that scan social media, travel records, and financial activities to detect unusual patterns. Something as simple as online interactions with suspicious groups could raise red flags. National security cases are usually handled quietly, with very little public disclosure. Often, individuals don't even realize they are being monitored until a removal order is issued. The reasoning is clear. Canada's immigration system is built not only to welcome newcomers, but also to protect its citizens from potential threats. While these measures may seem strict, they reflect Canada's global security commitments. The country works closely with international partners like the United States, the United Kingdom, and Interpol, sharing data and intelligence. That means even activities outside Canada, such as past travels to conflict zones or suspicious financial transfers abroad, can lead to someone being classified as a national security concern. For many, this rule might feel overwhelming, but the core idea is simple. Canada prioritizes safety above all else. Anyone posing a real or potential threat to national security will not be allowed to remain in the country under the tightened October 2025 regulations. Number 8. Employment violations. One of the fastest growing reasons for deportation in Canada is employment violations. These happen when international students, temporary workers, or even visitors with limited permits take jobs or work in ways that go against the conditions of their visa. Under the new October 2025 rules, immigration authorities are cracking down harder than ever before on this issue. Take the example of an international student. While studying, they are usually allowed to work a limited number of hours per week. But if they take on extra shifts beyond the legal limit, or start working under the table at a cash-paying job, they risk being flagged for violation. Similarly, temporary foreign workers are only permitted to work for the employer listed on their permit. If they switch jobs without officially updating their work permit, that's considered unauthorized employment, and it could lead to immediate removal proceedings. These new measures are not just about rules on paper. Canada has invested heavily in digital tracking systems and interagency cooperation, meaning that information about employment, tax filings, and even workplace records is now being cross-checked more frequently. For instance, if someone reports earnings that don't align with their visa conditions, immigration officers can investigate. Employers, too, are being monitored more closely, and those who hire unauthorized workers may face fines and penalties. The purpose behind these strict rules is to ensure that Canada's labor market remains fair and regulated. Unauthorized work not only undermines Canadian labor laws, but also places vulnerable immigrants at risk of exploitation. Unfortunately, many people who violate employment conditions don't do so intentionally. They may not fully understand the terms of their visa or may feel pressured to earn extra income. Still, the new October 2025 updates make it clear any form of unauthorized employment is a direct path to deportation, leaving little room for second chances. Number 7. Overstaying visitor visas. One of the most common and costly mistakes that can now lead to deportation under the October 2025 rules is overstaying a visitor visa. In Canada, most visitor visas allow people to stay for up to 6 months at a time. Once that period ends, visitors are expected to either leave the country or apply for an official extension. But many people, whether by choice or by accident, remain beyond the legal limit, thinking it won't be noticed. Unfortunately, with the new rules, the consequences for overstaying have become far more serious. Canadian immigration authorities are stepping up enforcement efforts against overstays. This means that individuals who remain in the country without valid status are no longer just receiving warnings, they are now being placed on priority removal lists. The government has also introduced enhanced data sharing systems, allowing border officers and immigration officials to track movements more effectively. Even routine interactions, like applying for housing, opening a bank account, or seeking health care, can reveal a person's overstayed status. What makes this rule particularly harsh is that many people overstay unintentionally. Some may miscalculate the expiry date on their visitor record, while others may face unexpected delays in flights or family emergencies. In the past, such cases might have been met with flexibility. But starting in October 2025, the new policies aim to clear immigration backlogs and ensure compliance, leaving very little room for exceptions. The risk doesn't stop at deportation alone. Overstaying can also result in a multi-year ban from re-entering Canada, damaging someone's future chances of obtaining visas, study permits, or even permanent residency. The message is clear. Canada expects strict adherence to visa timelines. Overstaying, even by accident, is now a direct violation that can quickly lead to removal from the country. Number 6. Serious health risks. Another ground for deportation that is gaining more attention under the October 2025 rules is when a person is found to pose serious health risks to the Canadian public. While Canada has always required health screenings for newcomers, the new policies make these checks more rigorous, with an emphasis on detecting infectious diseases and conditions that could create an excessive burden on the healthcare system. For example, if someone is diagnosed with a highly contagious disease and fails to disclose it during their immigration process, they may face removal. Likewise, individuals whose medical conditions are judged to cause excessive demand on Canada's publicly funded healthcare system could be denied status or even ordered to leave. This can include cases where long-term treatment or specialized care is estimated to cost significantly more than the average healthcare expenditure per person. These rules may sound tough, but they reflect Canada's efforts to balance compassion with practicality. On one hand, the country continues to welcome immigrants, refugees, and temporary residents. On the other hand, it also has to protect its population and ensure that the healthcare system remains sustainable for everyone. It's also worth noting that Canada collaborates with global health authorities like the World Health Organization. This means that international health alerts, such as new outbreaks, can directly influence immigration decisions. A traveler who has been in a high-risk region may be subject to extra screenings or even denied entry. While these measures can be frightening for those with health conditions, the October 2025 update emphasizes transparency and honesty. Those who openly disclose their health status and follow medical recommendations are far less likely to face removal compared to individuals who attempt to hide or misrepresent their situation. Number 5. Failed refugee claims. Refugee protection is one of the most important parts of Canada's immigration system. The country has built a global reputation for offering safety to people fleeing war, persecution, or danger in their home countries. But not every claim is accepted, and under the October 2025 rules, those whose claims are rejected will face much faster deportation procedures than before. In the past, rejected refugee claimants could remain in Canada for months, or even years, while appealing their cases. During this time, many built lives, found work, and even started families. But new policies are aimed at reducing these long delays. If someone's refugee claim is denied and they have exhausted all appeals, they may now be placed on an expedited removal list. This means fewer chances to prolong their stay and much tighter timelines for departure. One of the driving factors behind this change is the immigration backlog. Canada processes thousands of refugee claims every year, and delays often create pressure on housing, social services, and the legal system. By accelerating deportations of failed claims, the government hopes to clear space for genuine refugees who are in urgent need of protection. Unfortunately, this rule also has a human side that is difficult to ignore. Many people whose claims are denied still fear returning home, even if they don't meet the legal definition of a refugee. Others may have established roots in Canada and feel that being sent back will put them in danger. Despite these hardships, the October 2025 rules reflect Canada's growing emphasis on efficiency and enforcement. The key takeaway is clear. Once a refugee claim is rejected and all appeals are completed, remaining in Canada will no longer be tolerated. The system is moving toward swift and strict removals. Number 4. Misrepresentation. One of the strictest grounds for deportation in Canada is misrepresentation, and under the October 2025 rules, the consequences have become even harsher. Misrepresentation happens when someone provides false, incomplete, or misleading information on their immigration application, or fails to disclose important details that could affect their eligibility. This doesn't always mean creating fake documents. Sometimes it's as simple as leaving out a past visa refusal, not mentioning a dependent family member, or failing to declare a previous marriage. Why is this taken so seriously? Because Canada's immigration system is built on trust and transparency. Authorities rely on the information provided by applicants to make fair decisions. When someone hides or alters facts, it undermines the system and can be viewed as an attempt to gain unfair advantage. With the new rules, even unintentional mistakes may trigger penalties if they significantly affect the outcome of the application. The consequences of misrepresentation are severe. Individuals found guilty can face immediate refusal of their application, cancellation of their status, or even deportation. In many cases, they will also receive a 5-year ban from reapplying to Canada. This can be devastating for those who have already invested time, money, and hope into building a life in the country. To make matters even stricter, Canadian authorities are now cross-checking information with international databases, partner countries, and advanced AI-driven systems. For instance, a visa refusal from another country or inconsistencies in travel history can easily be flagged. Even social media activity is sometimes reviewed to ensure applicants are truthful. The message from the October 2025 changes is clear. Honesty is non-negotiable. Any attempt to hide the truth or even failing to double-check details can put a person at risk of losing their chance to stay in Canada permanently. Number 3. Criminal convictions. One of the most well-known but still highly misunderstood reasons for deportation from Canada is having a criminal conviction. Under the October 2025 rules, Canada is tightening its stance even further, meaning that offenses which might seem minor in everyday life can now have life-changing immigration consequences. Criminal inadmissibility covers a wide range of offenses, from serious crimes such as assault, drug trafficking, or fraud, to charges that many might dismiss as minor. For example, something as seemingly small as a driving under the influence, DUI conviction, can now place someone at immediate risk of deportation. In fact, immigration officers are instructed to treat DUI cases with the same seriousness as more severe crimes, since they involve public safety concerns. The rules also apply not only to crimes committed in Canada, but also to those recorded in other countries. If a person has a criminal record abroad, Canadian immigration officials can use that information to deem them inadmissible. Thanks to growing international data sharing agreements, records are easier to access than ever, making it harder for individuals to hide past convictions. Another key change in October 2025 is the reduction of appeal opportunities for those with criminal records. In some cases, there will be no chance to argue humanitarian grounds or personal hardship if the offense falls under certain categories. This represents a significant shift towards zero tolerance. The impact can be devastating. People who have lived in Canada for years, working, studying, or even raising families, can suddenly find themselves facing removal orders because of a single mistake. It highlights the importance of not only obeying Canadian law but also being mindful that any criminal charge, no matter how small, carries heavy consequences under immigration rules. Number 2, fraudulent documents. Submitting fraudulent documents is one of the fastest ways to face deportation from Canada, and under the October 2025 rules, the government is intensifying its crackdown on this issue. Fraud can include anything from fake job offer letters and fabricated financial statements to altered academic transcripts or counterfeit identity papers. Even documents that look genuine but contain misleading information are considered fraudulent and can lead to serious consequences. In the past, some individuals may have gotten away with falsified paperwork because verification systems were less advanced. But now, Canada has introduced digital verification technologies that make it much easier to detect discrepancies. Immigration officers can instantly cross-check documents with issuing institutions, banks, universities, and even foreign governments. This means a fake pay stub, a falsified bank statement, or a degree certificate from an unrecognized institution is more likely than ever to be flagged. The consequences for using fraudulent documents are severe. Not only can an application be immediately rejected, but if the individual is already in Canada, they can face removal orders and a 5-year or longer ban from reapplying. Employers or agents who assist in creating or submitting false documents are also being targeted with fines and legal penalties. What makes this rule especially important is that many people are misled by so-called immigration consultants or agencies promising guaranteed visas. These individuals sometimes provide clients with fake documents without fully explaining the risks. However, Canadian law makes it clear the applicant is always responsible for the authenticity of their paperwork, regardless of who prepared it. The October 2025 rules highlight a simple but powerful truth. Credibility is everything. A single fake document, and no matter how small, can destroy years of effort and permanently damage a person's chances of living in Canada. Number 1. Expired study or work permits. One of the most common yet serious reasons for deportation is staying in Canada with an expired study or work permit. Under the October 2025 rules, authorities are becoming much stricter about people who fail to maintain valid legal status. This means that once your permit expires, whether you are a student, a temporary worker, or a visitor with extended authorization, you are immediately considered out of status, and that puts you at risk of deportation. In the past, there was often some flexibility. People who missed their renewal deadlines could sometimes restore their status by applying late, as long as they acted quickly. But with the updated policies, the grace period has become much tighter, and in many cases, immediate enforcement actions are being introduced. Immigration officers are now prioritizing the removal of individuals who remain in Canada without a valid permit, even if the overstay is unintentional. For example, imagine an international student whose study permit expires in August but who forgets to apply for a post-graduation work permit (PGWP) on time. In the past, they might have had several months to fix the issue. Starting October 2025, however, they could be flagged almost immediately, with their name entered into the system for potential removal. Similarly, a temporary worker who continues working after their permit expires, even if it's with the same employer, would now be breaking the law and risking deportation. The reason for this strict enforcement is tied to Canada's broader immigration strategy, ensuring that those who are in the country are there legally and transparently. By cracking down on expired permits, the government hopes to encourage applicants to be more proactive about renewals and to prevent overstays from adding pressure to the immigration system. In short, the October 2025 changes send a clear message. Expired status will no longer be overlooked, and anyone caught without a valid permit could face removal. So there you have it, the 10 new deportation rules coming into effect in October 2025. Some may seem obvious, while others are stricter and more surprising than many expected. But one thing is clear, staying informed is the key to staying safe. Which of these rules shocked you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates. Share this video with friends and family. It might just protect their future in Canada.